Welcome everyone. What a great day for Florida State University. We're all excited to be here. I know there's a whole lot more people than just in this room, which has a whole lot of people in it. Of course, we're streaming live. Everyone's anxiously watching. A lot of Seminoles here, a lot of Seminoles in their game day gear, which is kind of exciting, I'm sure, for Link and his wife. But we want to bring up now, without any further ado, our really busy Vice President and Director of Athletics, Michael Alford.
Hey fellas, how are y'all? As always, it's always a great day to be at Noles. I appreciate everyone coming out today. You know, Florida State University enjoys one of the finest traditions in college baseball. We are Florida State baseball. Our program is built upon a foundation and a standard of excellence. And once again, we are Florida State baseball. Today marks a new day. We're going to introduce a leader who embrace FSU's traditions and instill our values into the next generation of Florida State University student athletes. In our world, as you heard me talk about this before, a coach is a leader, a counselor, a teacher. We've discussed and acknowledged that our student athletes' experience and their core values are heavily impacted by the people we put around them. We have a weighted responsibility of assuring you guys, this community, that individuals of high character are guiding all of our programs. We set out to recruit, hire, and partner with coach with certain qualities and expectations. There is a standard here at FSU. Our coaches are responsible for supporting the mission and core values of the university and the Department of Athletics, recruiting individuals who exhibit high potential to perform in the classroom, the community, and also on the diamond. We're going to reinforce academic achievement. Graduation is the top priority. You've heard me say it before. We're a top 20 public institution. That degree means something. And we want that degree in the left hand, and we want several championship rings on the right. And we're going to encourage our coaches to understand the logo's always on. Behavior, represent the university, high standards, lead by example, and be a mentor. Going through this process, everyone I spoke to had nothing but admiration for Link's leadership skills. It's clear that he knows how to win baseball games. But what was even more impressive going through the process, when you dig deeper, was what his student athletes did in the classroom and in the community. You watch, study how they win, how they lost, but his student athletes performed in the classroom and conducted themselves in the community first class. That's important to me, and it's important to Florida State University and Dr. McCullough. Baseball is an important part of our legacy here. We must continue to provide the necessary resources to win a national championship here at Florida State. I'm going to plug this one. You can find out more about our vision if you go to link2fsufuture.com. link2fsufuture.com. A few people I want to thank. Lisa, Jimmy, thanks for all your support. I don't know where Jack is. Jack Noles, thank you. Jen, welcome home. You know, I had a cheerleading job open about a month ago. If timing would have been a little better. Dawson, welcome to Tallahassee. You know the president's still recruiting you to get in the transfer portal and come to FSU. JT, welcome. I know you've been here many times, and we're going to get some garnet and gold on you real soon. Please help me and join me in welcoming the 2-time National Coach of the Year, 3-time Conference Coach of the Year, and the 10th coach in FSU history, and new Florida State baseball coach, Link Jarrett. Welcome home.
Well, this is about you guys, and I will meet with you later this afternoon, and I want to have a private meeting with you because ultimately I'm here for you, and we'll break down my expectations later. I want to thank Dr. McCullough, Michael, his wife Laura, the insightful discussions we had when our last out was made in Omaha led me to a very easy decision. Leaving Notre Dame was difficult. I would like to acknowledge Father John Jenkins, our president, Jack Swarbrick, our athletic director, Jody Sadler, my sport oversight for the opportunity there. Our players laid it on the line for 3 years. Our assistant coaches, they gave it everything they had, and that was 4 championships in 2 years to show for their efforts. I'm honored to embrace the significant historical parts of this program. Many historical things that stand out. Before I ever stepped foot on this campus and put the uniform on, after I left, I do recognize what has gone on here for decades. I have to create a trajectory with the program to modernize what we're doing. We have to improve the organization. We have to become complete in all phases of what we're trying to do with the program. There's one thing I haven't done, and that's win a national championship, and that's why I'm here. It's not easy. I know this is difficult. Walking off that field a week ago was challenging, emotional, and I actually walked off that field 3 times as a player, and I'm going to walk off that field at some point with the trophy and a lot of people say that. I would think every coach probably stands at the podium and says the same thing, but I've been very close, and my years of experience in the game, playing and now coaching, have positioned me to be in a program where I feel like we have that opportunity annually to position ourselves to host a regional, host a super regional, find ourselves in Omaha, and cultivate a team that has a chance to go out there and win it. My rock stars right here, Jen, JT Dawson. JT just graduated from NC State. Dawson, junior, Roll Tide at Alabama. I'll just say it. She's a junior, apparel design. Would never be standing here without them and their support. This is our 8th move. Some of you may have never moved. Some of you have moved a couple times. 3 of the 8, Jen never saw where we were actually moving to. This one she was very familiar with. But there were 3 times she just said, if you think that's the right thing to do for your career and the family, then you do it. I don't need to go see these places. If you think it's right, then let's do it. That takes a special person to have that kind of commitment to my career, and then ultimately to raise these 2 kids. In some respects, without me day in and day out involved, she did it. And they're great, all 3 of them. Thank you, guys. The Martin family has been close to me for 30 years. All of them. Meat is a former teammate of mine, a former roommate of mine, an outstanding baseball mind. We had some of the deepest baseball discussions I can ever recall in our little house right up the road. He's a close friend of mine and will remain a very close friend as I embark on my challenge here. 11 is a phenomenal leader. I won the National Coach of the Year this year. Was the Mike Martin Coach of the Year award. So, yeah. His competitiveness, day in, day out, some of that you don't see in the stadium. You see it in the coach's locker room. The players see it in the locker room. But there was a competitive side to 11 that was as elite as I've ever seen. He put us in a position to win. I think that's ultimately the coach's responsibility, is you have to put the players in position to win, and ultimately the execution in some form or fashion relies on the players on the field. But I felt like he always positioned his teams to be in a spot to execute and win. And clearly he won more than anybody. And his treatment of the people around the program always stood out to me. And I said that in Omaha when I had a similar setting for that award. And those three things rubbed off on me, and I would like to think that I have some of those traits. I'll never be what he was, but I appreciate the moments and the games and the hours and the questions he answered in my time here. There's 5 distinct areas of a program that have to be run at an elite level, probably in any sport, at the college level. They're very distinct to me. The evaluation of what you're looking for in players is very important. It has to line up with what you think walks onto that field and helps you win games. Skills in how pitchers handle certain things, their mechanics, arm action. You could just go around the horn, things you look for behind the plate, in center field, in the corners, in the middle infield, etc. So how you evaluate, where you evaluate, who you evaluate, that's a big part of it. The recruitment of these people you evaluate also has to be done at a high level, because you have to convince these type of athletes to come to Florida State. We're not going to be the only ones evaluating and recruiting those caliber of players. You can be good at one and poor at the other and not produce the type of athlete on your campus that you need. You need to be good at both. The player development, those athletes that are in, they have to be developed, and it's individualized development on their specific skills at their specific positions, and every one of these guys is a little bit different. As you develop the individual, I think when you put that product on the field, you ultimately see a better team that's comprised of individuals that have been developed. That is strength and conditioning, athletic training, coaching, the motivation piece, and some of it is what they choose to do on their own. Program development is, in some respects, what we're doing standing here right now. I'm explaining to you my thoughts and vision for this. It's the upkeep of the facility. It's vision for what needs to be done at that facility to keep up with some of the other teams in the Southeast that have taken baseball and escalated what they're doing within the confines of that campus. We have to be conscious of that. How we schedule, where we schedule, the calendar we produce for them to train as coaches, that is programmatic development. And then game management. When we line up, there are certain things that have to happen within the games for these individuals to have the right buttons pushed and be in the right roles on the pitching staff and in the right spots on the field. In the lineup, do we have an offensive package that's complete enough to find ways to win? Do we have pitching depth and variety in the bullpen? Do our starting pitchers understand what they're trying to accomplish? Do we have enough bunt game, short game, situational hitting available when we need it? Those are the 5. And to be honest with you, I don't really know where we are with those 5 right now. It's hard for me. I played 3 games here and in the ACC tournament. To think I know these guys inside and out is absolutely crazy. We played our last game a week ago, and I was in Omaha Wednesday. So I will get to some of the things I'm responsible for. But when those 5 work right, you have a chance to be an elite team every year. Former players, this is you guys, your families and kids. We finished our series here, and some of my friends that have kids that were out on the field, I think the kids had a chance to run the bases, but I want you guys to feel like this is home for you and your kids. The memories you have with your teammates at this level are probably equal to some of the things that you'll remember on the big double play you turn, or the home run, or the strikeout. I want you guys to be around, and I want your families to feel like this is a place they can call home. The committed players that are out there in the future classes, I ask that you trust where we're going with this. Coaching staff will be different. The vision of what we're doing with the program will not be different. The goals will not be different. How we get to that probably will be different. But I know how the recruiting world works, and I ask those guys that made a decision to commit to Florida State to play baseball, honor that commitment. I'm honoring and I respect the work that Mike Metcalf and Jimmy Ballinger did to recruit the 2023s, the 2024s, the 2025s. Now you're into the transfers. Guys can now transfer, and you're talking about grads. So in this day and age in college athletics, you're probably recruiting 7 different classifications age-wise of athletes. And those that committed here, I'm honoring that, and I need you to trust that we're going to put the program in the position that you signed up for when you committed. Not commenting on our staff right now. I met with my Notre Dame team Friday at 9 a.m., and I was on a plane here Friday at 10:30. I don't have answers on staff. I know the guys here work very, very hard, and these recruiting classes are the fruits of their labor, and there are some very good athletes coming on this campus. Some of them are sitting here right now. I'm blessed to be here. I'm honored to be here. Flattered to be here for the people that came out to welcome us. And I have one goal, and everybody in here knows what that is. Thank you.